And you'll have to wait only for me.
So it's like this in some ways. I hear people mocking others for playing computer games on their channels. I lost a subscriber and got the shittiest comment from Mr. Jonathan Roberts. About what do computer games have to do with flat earth or reality? The gaming channels out there have done nothing but grow. When they have a live show, playing the games live, they get hundreds of people viewing minutes, and anything up to 16,000 people I've seen on one live hangout, one live game show. And yet all the flat earth channels, with their obvious progression of trying to keep people entertained and interested, have done nothing but dwindle away. I hear all these people saying, "Isn't Dell doing a great job? Isn't Dell doing a great job doing these street interviews? He's got 300 people watching him. Where are the 300 other street interviews?" There is a bias going on. It's a far more subtle and insidious type of bias than the simple visual aspect of, "Oh, isn't she hot, man?" Excuse me. Some people, some, not many, have and are learning to discern with their eyes. They don't take at face value the initial look of something, someone. But you know, there are other biases at play that people are not thinking about, do not consider, probably not even aware of. Can you guess at what it is? It's a listening bias. People have got this bias of, "Oh, I don't like the sound of him, I ain't listening to him."
The hidden history of the human race. Nice to see you, Michael.
Good to be here, Gary.
This, I believe, calls into question Darwinian's theory of evolution. Is that correct?
Yes, Gary. Essentially, that theory says that human beings like us have been around for about 100,000 years. And before that, you would have had only ape-man-like creatures. Before that, apes and monkeys.
He sounds like a boffin. I am not listening to him.
And we, as psychedelic people, have an obligation upon ourselves to anticipate and to help realize this future. It is upon us.
Oh, he sounds far too rough and ready. I'm not listening to him.
So government keeps growing and growing and growing, and it'll keep growing and growing and growing until it just absolutely collapses and a new order will come in and a despotism will rule.
People have not yet learnt to see. No, they have not. And arrogant maybe, but I do feel sometimes I am one of those that can see. Now, don't get me wrong, I ain't saying I've got all the answers. I ain't saying I'm right about everything. But I do see more than most. And I do see it in a different way. And I do see us as having been corralled. No one wanting to do anything about getting us out of it. people talk about growth and stuff, change. I ain't seen no change in the last year. Everybody's doing the same old crap. I've said before, right? I wish Dale all the luck in the world on his little quest of imparting his flat water truth to people, right? But I've been there, done that. I sat there and I tried to fucking talk to people about UFOs and aliens for years, right? I've tried to talk to people about the corruption in the courts, the corruption in the legal system, legalese. People are not interested at this point in time. What needs to be done instead is formulate a plan, write a new story. Come up with a new idea. We don't do it under the radar like the fucking Illuminati and all that crap that everyone's so scared of. We do it out in the fucking open. We just do it now. Write it as a story, you understand, as fiction, as fantasy, and try and bring it about into reality. We make like game shows centered around these ideas, these thoughts, these plans. We make music and art that entwines it all. Or we can all just sit here and keep repeating ourselves to the same fucking people over and over again. Each year I have the same conversation with family about fucking football. Oh, we did well this year. No, we didn't do so bad this year. Oh, we did fucking awful this year. Oh, this year we had a transfer. Last year we had a transfer. Next year we've got more transfers coming up. What the fuck are you people talking about? I had people around the other day and they mentioned 6 films off the top of their head that they've been to see recently, and I ain't fucking got a clue about none of them. Couldn't care less anymore. I guarantee you, with all this London attack, there's something else going on.
Let's sing and dance for Comic Relief tomorrow at 6:45 on BBC One.
Now on BBC One, the BBC News at 1.
Fears of job cuts at Vauxhall's UK plants as they're sold to a French car maker. More than 4,000 people are employed at 2 sites in the UK. The new owners say the future of the plants will come down to their performance. 13 potential UK terror attacks have been prevented in almost 4 years, say counter-terrorism police, as they call on the public to be vigilant.
He insists there will be a second referendum on Scotland's independence and that no UK Prime Minister should dare stand in the way. The former Chancellor George Osborne has been appointed editor of the London Evening Standard. He says he will remain an MP. There's a warning of a funding shortage for schools, despite record spending by the government.
Some other story out there in the news, barely being noticed.
Pentagon. The day before 9/11, Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld declared war, not on foreign terrorists.
The adversary is closer to home. It's the Pentagon bureaucracy.
He said money wasted by the military poses a serious threat.
In fact, it could be said that it's a matter of life and death.
Rumsfeld promised change, but the next day, the world changed. And in the rush to fund the war on terrorism, the war on waste seems to have been forgotten.
You know, perhaps like paedophiles quietly getting arrested and, you know, all being hushed up. I'll hear about this fucking London shit for months on end now.
The first picture emerges of the man who carried out the Westminster attack. This is Khalid Masood as a teenager. Police say he used a number of aliases and they've appealed to the public for more information about him.
There might well be people out there who did have concerns about Masood, but weren't sure or didn't feel comfortable for whatever reasons in passing that information to us. I now urge anyone with such information to call us.
Prince of Wales arrives at King's College Hospital to visit those injured in the attack. The fourth person to have died has been named as Leslie Rhodes from South London. He was 75.
I do and I don't understand how it's come to this. What I struggle with is finding a way to break through to people. And like I keep trying to tell people part of it might be the flat earth.
If I say that the world is round and someone else says it's flat, that's worth reporting. But you might also want to report on a bunch of scientific evidence that seems to support the notion that the world is round.
We're trying to move towards the future. They want to be stuck in the past. And we've heard this kind of thinking before. Let me tell you something. If some of these folks were around when Columbus set sail, they must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not have believed that the world was round. Patience for anyone who denies that this challenge is real. We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
The realisation that where you thought you are is not where you think you are. Maybe there is something to that. Maybe that is why so many people stepped up and made videos. But I do worry we were just played. We were just played. The set up to stand up, to be picked out and lined up, you know, lined up and picked out, and then shut down.
by the Death Star in the Star Wars movies. Star Wars movies, of course, produced by George Lucas, massive insider.